Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are making a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So we're working on our final transition, our final scene transition for our demo, right? So once you get the last, once you get the tome of music, you can pull out your lute and play the song, and then once you play the right notes at the right screen, it will unlock a cinematic that cleanses the corrupted waters here. So we still don't have we don't have Mage's Castle painted in just yet, but I'm thinking I want the riddle to resolve to this place here, high up on top of Mage's Castle, because we can come up with some sort of riddle to kind of indicate, like, hey, high above the magic land or whatever, we can kind of hint that this is where you need to play the music. And then if you play the music here on this scene, you know, maybe we can have like a little sigil or something on the floor here to kind of indicate that maybe there's something unique about this spot here or something. But the idea is, and I'll press N and the water will change. We actually changed it. We started changing it yesterday, actually, where we started changing play states. So yeah, we took that out actually. So I can't show you what it looks like to have the blue water just yet like we did, because we started re-hauling it into a new state machine. So there's a couple steps to this, because we have to, we have to persist the change of purple sprites to blue sprites once you've unlocked it, right? So it needs to persist in the game. That means when you save it, it needs to know, hey, we've already cleansed these waters, so don't load the purple sprites, load the blue sprites. So that's one aspect of this challenge. The other is, let's see here, when we press N, where is it? Yeah, so look, here, what I'll do, I'll take off our state machine change and put back our water animatables and show you what's up. Because here, if we were to press N, we change to uncorrupted waters, which is great. But what's really happening is we're changing the tile IDs of the thing that's in an animatable, and the animatables are rendering over our base layer, over our ground level layer. So if we were to change these and reload the game, they're purple again, because the global map doesn't change tile IDs. All we're doing is saying, hey, there now exists a tile at a certain location with a certain starting end frame, and they happen to be on screen in this scene. You can see it screw up if we walk off, right? And during the scene transition, it's the old tiles, and then once it loads and updates the map, then it's the blue that are rendering over it. So there's a couple problems, because I don't want to just change it in one frame, right? It just doesn't look good if it's just poof, now it's all blue, right? So it's like 3, 2, 1, blue. That doesn't look so good. I want it to be more of a gradual, magical change, like the waters are getting cleansed from purple to blue. So that means we basically need the map to remain unchanged. It's tough because we have to have both happening at the same time. We need the purple animatable going, and then we need the new animatable on top, and then we need to handle all of those persistent changes that I was talking about with making it last throughout the game once you've unlocked it. And then we need to have it work for scene transitions too. So just this one idea for the cinematic is just quite a big challenge. So if you were running this on individual hardware, you'd do some kind of flicker effect. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, because that's, we would, what's tough is that it's animating so that the tile IDs are changing over time. So when I'm thinking about maybe adding a flicker, it's like, that's like almost just as, it's just as difficult, but I agree that it would kind of be like that on a Game Boy. It would go like fast blinky to slow blinky to solid or something like that. So yeah, I do think you're right about that. Yeah, and it's tough to test, right? Because it's like you kind of have to code it in order to test it. So I still honestly haven't wrapped my head around how I'm going to do it. But we've been kind of stuck on this for 2 or 3 days now, trying to think about how to do this. So we really need to figure it out. Yeah, exactly. And my game, it like the spell casting has particle effects which aren't true to, Game Boy. Like they never really did anything like this. So I'm not too worried about kind of modernizing it with unique, non-traditional Game Boy animations. So I think Fade is probably the straightforward way to go about it. But we're gonna have to build a solution out that solves a couple different issues. So it's gonna be tough. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, we're moving this to a state machine so that if we're on this scene in particular, we can listen for that successful loot thing and then trigger the cinematic starting here. So if this is the only scene we need to worry about for the quote-unquote cinematic, and the cinematic is just fading blue on top of purple, that would be easy because we know which sprites we need to manually target, right? And then we can write a little script that goes in our global map table, cycles through any starting ID with a tile ID equal to corrupted purple water, now gets changed to starting cleansed water. Because the way the game works is, well, yeah, we would have to. Okay, no, I think that would work. I think a simple overwrite would work there, because the way my game works is it looks, when it goes to update any tiles, it looks to see if there's an animatable in that tile. And it knows that based on, man, we're gonna have to do some testing, because yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. So I guess the current game plan is we'll turn back our state machine here. We'll make sure stuff like that, like our inventory isn't even working on this new state machine. So we need to make sure, because you need to equip the loot in order to play it. So we'll add the inventory. Then we'll just try it one step at a time. We say, can we make an animatable of a different tile and render it on the map in the right render order layer? I guess the render order layer doesn't even really matter in this aspect, because we can't collide with water anyway, so I don't think it'll be that bad. Hey Loki, welcome in, good evening. So yeah, game plan is, let's try to get one animatable blue tile to be able to be drawn in our loot song 1 success state, or whatever it is we made last night. Then once we get one of those tiles in, then we'll just see if we can modify the fade to fade over. Then we'll just populate everyone over, and then we'll fade it in like an animation, and then we'll work on the script to overwrite all of the old purple water corrupted tile ID starters to be the new uncorrupted water in the global map, so that when we save it, those changes will be persistent. But another thing too is, like, there's going to be water in other biomes, and that's going to be corrupted if you haven't cleansed the biome that the water's in. So we can't necessarily write a global script to go delete all those. So we might have to think of something else. But for demo's sake, we might make it global, and then we'll figure out how to add back in the corrupted waters if we need to. Yeah. Yo, what up, Salto? Welcome in. You guys, Salto Manga has got a new website that you should all check out. It is very easy to find. It is saltomanga.com. He's got some amazing art up there. I highly recommend you check out his stuff and give him a follow if you aren't aware of him already. But yeah, for sure. For sure, check him out. Okay. Yeah, I think we just do this one step at a time. And we see how far we can get with it. That's all you can ever do, right? So... Okay. Tome 1 success state, that's what we called it. Tome 1 success state. Just wait till we can sell prints and stickers on it, dude. It's gonna be so fire. It's gonna be so cool. Okay, Tome 1 success state. So let's take a look at our Tome 1 success state. It is a bunch of, we initialize our scene to be the correct scene. We update our scene if we're not paused. So we do need to do a toggle inventory, I want to say it's called. What do we do when we press start? We need to toggle, I think I call it, man, I hate that I don't call it inventory system. I think I call it, what do I call it? Pause state? Nice, Loki. Yo, good work. Dude, you really did it in, just the prototype in the past, week or so, right? That's epic, dude. Yeah, be sure to share it in the Discord so we can check it out. We're looking for, I want to say it's called pause state or something, which is stupid. Yeah, pause state. Okay, so this is what we need. Oh my god, okay. It's a little weird. But we're basically just saying, okay, in our update, so that if we're in our scene, if we're in our tome state, if we pause and our player's not dead, and we're also not currently in a loot, because if we're in a loot, start will actually exit the loot system instead of pause, and that's just a byproduct of coding it like a Game Boy game with only 4 directions and 2 A and B buttons and a start and select. So we're kind of limited, but that's okay. So we are changing to a pause state now from our tome state, so that's step 1, that's easy. Step 2 is, let's see if we can get an animatable cleansed water tile rendering on screen here. So we have this thing called an anim spitter. And an anim spitter is a function I wrote. Really? It's a capital because it's a class. Anim spitter takes in a starting tile, and end tile, and then a time. A duration between the 3. Or between the animation. So our anim spitter is a global variable that's updating in our play state. So we need to pull, we either need to pull our anims into our main so that we have access to the current tile on any state whatsoever, which might be the move, because we would be duplicating some code to duplicate the, update any animatables in this state. But then thinking about it, moving forward, in any state we would be needing to do that. So we might just need to move it to main. I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to move it towards main, but also it makes sense because it kind of, so many things. Anytime we animate, oh shoot, it's in our insert animation. This is weird. Oh my god. See, like, this is clearly I didn't know what the hell I was doing. We have these global updates in a class, and this insert animation, if we look at where this is a class that we put on to our scene. So we say this insert animation is a class object that takes in 2 arguments, a row and a column, for the current map, and it saves it into a global state machine's current animatables. So if we're passing along this class from state machine to state machine, we could use it. It's just a weird way to do it. It's totally valid, but it's just kind of weird. But the other thing is, this doesn't give us really what we need, because what this gives us is we update our animatable, so that's the anim spitter. That's just going to be whatever tile ID is currently on, and it cycles through, so it just animates the tile ID. Then in the update, we cycle through the dot animatables, which isn't that where our insert anim objects are? Dot animatables, yes. This is really strange because we're kind of cycling through ourself in a sense. No, this is... Okay, there's an animatables table on our state machine. And that's... Gosh, man. Okay, well... We shouldn't have named these both animatables, that's for damn sure, because it makes it really hard to find what's part of the state machine animatables and what's part of our global animatables. This is very strange. Because here, play state, this is what I'm looking at. Our play state animatables. So anytime we update the animatables, this is our play state. This is our play state animatables. And then when we render, I guess that doesn't... What's weird is, gosh man, it's like 3 steps disjointed with abstraction, which is just not good. Because I wrote the damn thing and I'm like, how the hell does this work? So what's happening here is our insert animation is a class that is in our play state. And what the play state does, we update it every frame, which means we update all of our global animatables. Cool. Doesn't make sense, but cool. Then we cycle through our scenes animatables, which our scenes animatables are different than our states animatables, which I think is the big kind of confusion for me here. So I'm kind of curious at when we're doing a scenes animatables and what the difference is there. Well, okay. Well, in our scene, we only have it in the state. Where else? I know we have to have it. Wow, we don't have it anywhere else. It's just in our scene. Or it's just in our play state. Because anytime we use it in the scene, we're just talking about it attached to the current state machine. Okay, so it's not as weird as I thought, but it's just fucking weird. See, because this is what I thought it was. I thought it was the dot animatables on the scene. But when we look at, it's the play state's current dot animatables table. See, that's the confusing thing for me. This is nuts. Because, yeah, I thought it would be in the global animatables. Okay, so let's just walk it through. Let's see. Our class does do it for the global, and then, okay, we manually insert them here. So what the hell is our playstate animatables even doing then? Yeah, what is our playstate animatables doing? It's almost like we had to do this just so that they would update, when really we should have pulled them out into main or something, or into a utility function or something. Because the other tricky thing about this is, like, the only thing that our animatables is doing is overriding the tile ID. Where are we? Yeah, so if you look at what our insert anim class does, I should say insert animation because insert anim is a function that is actually being executed here. We're actually invoking the method here with the parentheses, right? So what we're doing is we're cycling through our animatable table. Our animatable table's filled with functions, literal functions, and we're just calling the function that's in the table at whatever index. For however many animatables are there, go execute every one of those functions. That's all this is doing. And then when we go to look at what's in the .animatables, we've got this, our function inserts right here. Now it's messy and gross and weird, but we technically only do this once upon a knit, right? Or upon loading. So this is how we're saying the animatables with the proper row, column, and frame, current frame, get inserted into the animatables table. Then when we invoke it, the invocation, the actual function is called insert anim. So it's so fucked up. We've got insert animation, the class, animatables table for the scene, animatables table for the state, and then an insert anim function that is in the animatables table for the scene. So that's what's so fucking stupid about it. Now this isn't... Oh, okay. Insert anim is a method on our insert animation class. See, this is... Who named these things? But this is the magic right here. This is the magic. All it's doing is going through... It's changing the tile ID to be an anim. And an anim is a third parameter on an insert anim, and a third parameter is a frame of an animatable, and an animatable gets updated every time we update an insert animation, and insert animation is inserted on right here. Anytime we change a map, anytime we change a scene, we get a new insert animation class for the new scene. So see, we update our current map to be the next map. Once we're done with the transition, then we move our animatables over here. So that's just how it knows which scenes tile IDs to modify into a blue tile, for example, like when we change it, because we're changing a global starting point to be equal to a starting point of a blue tile ID as opposed to the purple. So it's just not... God, it's so weird. You know, we're not any closer to fixing the issue right now. So I think I need to get my ass in gear and just do something that actually helps us instead of just scratch my head. But, you know, it's useful to know how this works, because if we knew how it worked and there was an easy fix, then we would have probably been able to find it by now. But the way we did this is very strange. it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for adding animations and transitions on top of the current system we have. So we basically need a new anim spitter that does the same exact thing, except instead of it inserting a function into an animatables table, it just needs to take a row and column and know how to draw a current anim spitter frame at the certain row and column. And once we get that, then we can kind of manually insert what we need for the scene, control fade in on the opacity alpha channel. And then at that point, then we can worry about our script to update our global map to have the new tile IDs. That way they persist through saves. So I think that's the rundown. That's the goal. Okay. Like, I had all the energy to explain it, and now when it comes to do it, I'm like, and I'm tired now. Whatever, we got this shit. We got this. Okay, let's look at our anim spitter. You know, I don't want to have to rewrite another one of these because it's very simple. Okay, yeah, we don't have to rewrite it. But we do need... It's so strange to me that we pass in the animatables via the state machine. It's just so weird to have to do that, but I guess it kind of makes sense in the way I've designed it. But fuck, man, fuck. So weird, so weird. It's like I don't know how to do video games. Okay. Yeah, so let's make us a new anim spitter for cleansed water versus corrupted water. And what we'll do is we'll pass the animatables from our play state to our tome complete state. And we'll just see if the anim spitter is updating correctly. And if so, then we can worry about drawing it. We have a clean water anim starter and a clean water anim ender. Great. Okay. But we don't have the actual instantiation, which is right here. So let's do this. We give us a cleansed water anim spitter, and it starts at the cleansed water anim starter, and it ends very easily at clean water anim ender, and we give it the same speed as our normal water. Cool. Boom, we got a global animatable. Easy enough. Now let's go do the update for it, which is in our insert anim, because we already have the logic to update animatables in our scene, right? So we just need to pass the function that actually animates it into the new scene once we change it, because we don't have that functionality just yet. So right here in our insert anim, we'll say also, let's update our cleansed water animatable as well. Cool. Now when we go to render, and that's the thing, the render doesn't actually get called anywhere based on the animatables, because the animatable function changes the ID of what's being rendered. So the game renders as normal, but we're just going in, we're diving down into the actual tile ID and saying, you know what, that's a tile ID of something else, and just animating it. So we don't really update then render our animatables. We just as our animatables update, we actually do a function call that changes the underlying tile ID. So at this point, we should have a cleansed water dot frame that cycles through all the frame numbers that are in, but we need it to to also pass in on the tome state, because right now we aren't doing that. So yeah, we need to do, whenever we do the invocation of the function, that's what we need to pass into our tome state. So let's find that again. Right here. It's in our insert anim update. So where is our insert anim update? I think it's in our play state. It's in the .animatables table, which I don't like that we called it that. We should have called it something else. See, we do this in the opening cinematic where we instantiate it with the global scene view, but that's not even good. That's not even right, technically, either. We need to pass it as we state machine it. We really should. I don't know if we can do that. Okay, see, this is weird. Play state. Why the hell? This is so weird. Okay, so here, when we init the play state, we get the .animatables here in the play state. We update. That's it in the play state, really? We have to be passing it around somewhere. Where are we cycling through our .animatables to actually execute the function that's in there? It's just the update. It's just the update. So this is all we need to do, I think, is, you know, our insert animation class. Ah, this is so weird, dude. I don't see where we're cycling through this table in our play state and actually updating it. Where do we update this animatables table here? We do it right here on a scene transition, and we do it right here on a starting scene transition, and that's it. We have two references. Yeah, why are we manually updating water right here? That's gotta be an old mistake. This doesn't make any god dang sense, man. If our animatables are holding our insert animation class, when we update our animatables, that's what's going to be actually spitting out the new frame from the anim spitters. So we have to be updating this somewhere. We have to be, and I'm not seeing it. See that, we have that in the, oh, this is it, this is it. This is it right here. We say if we're in a play state, while we're in the freaking play state, go ahead and update animatables. So that might have been, we might have added that because in a dialogue state, we might have changed state and we didn't want, no, we would have wanted, I feel like I want to take this out of the conditional. You know what, I might as well just test it now. So we're just going to update it regardless in our play state. I think it'll work fine. I don't think that would change anything. So let's see. Do they... Seems to work on pausing. We need to add pausing to our refinery state, which is easy. Okay. Okay, yeah, fuck. Okay, well, I changed us to the new state we're working on, so I don't think we need this in the conditional. I really don't. So I wanna I don't know. I'm gonna leave it commented out and leave it as a to-do just in case it starts breaking things, and that might be the issue. Because it's like I'm gonna remember play state line 313 is where we changed this crap. So I think the next thing to do is to pass along our animatables into the scene, into our tome state success. So we do have in our opening cinematic state, let's do this. We have a dot animatables that we need, yeah. We're gonna do the same thing here where we snag an animatables table, and then we're gonna go to the dot animatables and say, let's insert animation of our current scene view, current map, row and column. So we're gonna do that same thing. We get the scene view's current map, and we have a row and column from the scene view. So we're going to say, okay, our animatables table is now the insert animation that used to be at the scene that we were currently at, and then we need to do the invocation here. So it's actually in the update, which I don't like. I think I thought it was kind of a easy fix, but I think it just makes for a more confusing experience for the developer. So, hey Leaf, what's up? Yo, it's going. It's going a little tough for me to wrap my head around it, but I think we're on a decent track here. So we have to go actually update the animatables. So we can just literally update it, like, you know. Now dot animatables are one. You know, so Leaf, this is the last feature for the demo. So this is the last feature, but there's a ton of little polish we want, and I didn't want to rush the demo's completion because it's going to be the one on Steam for the next year before the game's done. So we're on the crunch to finish this last feature for April 1st, but the first 2 weeks of April are going to be polish and a little bit of new sprites, and then we're going to have playtesting, which is hopefully going to illuminate me to some bugs that people find so that I can fix them for the Steam release, and then I'm shooting for uploading to Steam by the end of April. And I don't know how long that process takes, but I know we can't ship to Steam until it's relatively bug-free, and that requires playtesting, and playtesting is going to require this last feature to be implemented and then some other stuff polished up, because there's a ton of bugs that I'm aware of that I haven't tracked down yet because I've been doing the hard feature stuff. So we're still in the crunch, but it is not going to be ready April 1st for sure. I'm just hoping to have this last feature done by April 1st, and then it's just polish and some rearrangement of some stuff. But no new things are going to be added. We just need to use the pieces we've got at that point. So it should be a lot easier. It should be a lot easier. See, this is weird. We do this animatables update in the opening cinematic, but I don't think that's technically right because animatables actually. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, no, and that is actually right because our update is what is cycling through and doing the function. Yeah. Is there a reason for the year? It's pure, I just don't want scope creep to come up and bite me in the ass, and I don't want to be on the same project for more than over 2 years of time, you know? So it's probably, if I'm real honest with myself, it's probably going to be 2 years. But I think if I go balls to the wall and try to do it in 1 year and do my best to get it done in 1 year, then we can spend 6 months really polishing up what I got done in the year, and then we're in a good spot. So it's, yeah, and it's not so much that I don't want to, you know, I love making the game. It's more so I'm doing this to learn how to make games and learn how to ship games, right? So if I spend 4 years doing one type of game, I'm not getting much practice doing different stuff. So I really do want to move on. But yeah, it's my first game for sure. I've done a little arcade game, but yo, thanks Loki. Oh shoot. Thanks dude. I'll replace that. Not right now, but I'll replace that. Thanks for letting me know, Loki. I will do that. Yeah, definitely my first game. I've done little games before this. So this is huge. Yeah, this is a huge game for me. Oh yeah. Well, dude, I'm in an engine too, Leaf. I'm not coding the engine. But I get the fear, dude. I mean, and that's the reason I'm trying to get it done too. It's like I think once I've made and shipped a game, I'll feel like I can do it again, you know, like the hurdle's going to be a lot less high once I've done it already. So I'm going to try to play that balance of make something I'm proud of, but also don't spend 5 years on it. Because, dude, it's real. I'm already over a year. And the demo's not done, so it's nuts. It's nuts. Oh, shoot. This should work. So what I'm going to do here is actually print up the frame of our animatable that is a cleansed water animatable. We want to print up the frame of this to see if the animatables are actually working. So let's do this. We'll do love.graphics print, and we're going to say that this is cleansed water concatenated with the string of the frame. So it should be like whatever that number is and change over time. So we're going to just put it on screen here in our tome success state, which we are triggering with the key press of N for now. So let's see. I know, Leaf, it's kind of obnoxious how much work it takes. Like, it's really, really insane. I'm sure it gets a little easier as you get better, but also as you get better, you make more complex stuff, so it never really does get easier. At least that's my experience. Okay, we're gonna press and look at this. Okay, it looks like we've got it. 240 to 243. So 240 to 243, hard to see, but 240 to 243. If we look at our thing here, 240 to 243, yeah, that's where we put our water. We just haven't exported the new number tile sheet, but that's working. So yeah, it does get easier. It does get easier as you get more familiar, but like I said, it's like once you get better, you have more complex ideas, and then it takes forever. And you know, that is totally okay, Leaf. That's totally okay. I find there to be like a particular in what's it called? Endearing. I find it endearing when you see the artwork and it's clearly not professional art. It's like, well, God bless you. God bless you. You're trying. I think it's really endearing. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we've got our animatable in our new state. So that is step 1. So step 2 would be to write a little function that inserts an animatable at a given row and column. Should be easy enough, right? Should be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'd say, yeah, don't let that hold you back or anything, because I always love that stuff. And, you know, like, especially with AI on the up and up, it's like, we're going to have generic looking, good enough, good passing art. And that stuff's going to get so boring for everybody. So, like, people are going to be so craving the personal, the unique art, because we're going to be inundated with shitty AI shit. So I think we're in a good spot. Like, I think it's good. And yeah, I'm not worried about AI taking any artists' jobs. Like, they can't do what artists do. So I mean, for corporate, right? For corporate, sure, shitty corporate shit. Yeah, whatever. They're gonna use it. It's gonna be everywhere. It's whatever. But the good shit's never gonna change. It's always gonna be individuals. Yeah, I think so too. It's definitely gonna be everywhere. I mean, it kind of already is, but yeah, it's gonna be everywhere, but I think it's gonna make the pull to real artists more. Oh yeah, it'll be so weird to see. Man, yeah, it's gonna be weird. There's gonna be some weird growing pains for it, for sure, as people realize that it's really junk, and like, what we really like, what AI is good for is enabling artists to get shit done, not trying to do the work for them. Like, you know what? I don't think I think it's, yeah, I don't think I agree with that. I think it'll kind of illuminate that what they want is, yeah, Leaf. How dare you say the word idea in here? And you almost got muted for saying that. Yeah, I think it's good, because now the idea man can go be like, dude, go have fun. Go do your fucking idea. Go prompt the thing for your idea, and you be happy in your own little idea world, and let the artists go do their thing, and we'll see who comes out on top. Like, I'm totally fine with that. You go do that idea, man. You go for it. I think that's fine. You know, if they find success, good for them. But they're going to find that it's really about execution, and you have zero control over the execution when you're just prompting. Like, you have no control, you know? So, I'm not worried about it. This is good. We've got the animatable. Now we just need to worry about drawing it. Now the tough thing is translating pixels into the tile ID. Yeah, that's so true, Leaf. And I mean, it will get better. You know, AI will get better, but there's gonna be such a need for for real people, because at the end of the day, the computer's going to be executing the code and someone needs to know what the hell it's doing, or they just have to give up. You know, like it can't be running if they don't know what it's doing, and if they need to fix it, someone needs to know what it's doing in order to fix it. So there's gonna be developer jobs out the ass. I'm very sure. So I'm glad, you know, developers are gonna be needed forever. So I feel decent in job security once I get some, you know, credibility, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's take a look at our maps scene render logic for the whole tile ID, right? When we go to render our tile ID, it's not in the map, maybe it's in the scene. I feel like it would be in the map. Right here, this is it. Okay, so we're cycling through our dot tiles and then our above ground tiles. So how do we want to render these? Because you know, we're kind of bypassing the... God, it's hard for me to function this or word this. Basically, we have a frame. So we need to write like a custom function that just takes in the frame, takes in a tile ID from our tile sheet, which is a global tile sheet, draw it at a quads of that frame, and then we pass it whatever, you know, it'd be just like this. Yeah, exactly. No, I've been making Love2d for a couple years now, so I'm so happy that it got some recognition. It's really cool, because I think people are getting curious about Love now, and from what I hear, people, you know, like people will find me always and they'll be like, yo, you're the only one kind of putting out, I mean, there's a couple other people, but people find me because I'm one of the only people that show up when you type in Love and Love2d for programming stuff. So it's cool. It's cool that it's getting popularity because it's so powerful, and it, you know, we're validated now because we just got Game of the Year with Balatro. So the engine and language is kind of validated in a big way, thanks to that guy. I forget his name. Thunk, local Thunk on Twitter. I don't remember his name, but I think his tag is Thunk or something like that. Okay, so let's test this in our Tome success state. I know, that's insane that an indie developer could just snag a Game of the Year. Like, freaking nuts. He won, out of like the 8 categories they had, I think he won like 2. So he won like 20% of the awards that night or some shit. Like, nuts. Absolutely nuts. We'll get there, Leaf. We'll get there. But yeah, it's super cool that they could do that. Uh-oh, what is this self-adjacent offset X that we give? I don't think we need this because this is just the transition, but we pass the adjacent offset. Where are we populating it? The hell? Because what's weird is normally we pass it to the render, but we're not doing that. So the weird. It's funny because yeah, like once people play it, they're like, it kind of filled a hole that people didn't realize was there, which I think is a great recipe for success. That and, you know, wanting to make a good game and delivering on the programming is really cool. We're going to try this without the adjacent offset X because we're not shifting the scene during this time in history, and we're actually going to be locking our player once we trigger the cinematic to update, so we won't need this, but we do need a local. Do we have to declare it local here? No? Can you just do this? Well, it didn't crash. Yes, it did. Tiles. Index tiles. Self.tiles. Okay, self.tiles. Okay, so where's our self.tiles and what is it? God damn it, dude. Okay, well, I think we shouldn't have to do this junk. We shouldn't have to like repopulate what our tiles are. It is part of our map. So if we dig down to our scene view dot current map dot tiles, it should be the same as self tiles here. Yeah. So self tiles is actually scene view current map dot tiles. Cool. Tile ID. Okay, so that should work. So, but the thing we're doing, we're trying to draw. We're not trying to draw a tile ID. We're trying to draw a cleansed water dot frame from our anim spitter. And what I'll do is I'll put this at the bottom. I call it, oh god, what do I call it? Offset map, no, what do I call it? Screen height limit. Okay, so we're here. All right, look at that. Holy shit. We're doing it. So this, yeah, this isn't doing any checking. And it's rendering it on every single tile. So it's saying, yeah, for every tile we're going to draw it. So this, you know, this would render it for everything. So what we can do is basically we basically want to convert this draw function into taking in an X and a Y. So the X and Y, we have to, this is the formula. It's just -1 times tile size, because we negate the one indexing and we multiply by the tile size to get the right row and column. So let's turn this into a function that can draw it. So let's do this like right here. We'll say there's a new function we've got. You know, ideally we probably, I don't know if we want to use this fade in for any other purpose of an animatable fade in, you know? I mean, I don't know if we want to use it anywhere. We're just going to try to get it working here. This is just going to be called insert new anim. I'm just going to call it. Let's be more descriptive. Let's say insert cleanse water. Okay, and the thing is we want to take in an X and a Y, and the X and Y is how many rows, you know, how many columns, and then how many rows you want to do. So we have to do this like, you know, I guess I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. And you know what, like, we can kind of hard code it a little bit because this is very particular for this scene, for inserting a cleanse water frame. So instead of making a more utility function, we're just kind of doing a one-off function, which isn't great, but it's a lot faster, and it'll get us where we're needing to go faster. So let's just say we cycle through for X gets, can we not do that? For X gets 1, 10, no, it's 8 tall, 10 wide. Okay, so we're just gonna say this is actually Y. Now we're not going to draw it at an X tile size. We're just going to do this at a tile size of 1. So it'll be actually 0 here. I'm trying to get a left line of blue water inserted on top of our purple water. That's all I'm trying to do here. It would help if we spawn on the right page. So we'll change that. Okay, did not work. Well, we aren't actually running this function anywhere. So why is it all weird? We messed up this. Let's take this off. Let's go to our spawn, and we'll make us spawn in 2 scenes lower than we currently are, which is 9-2. Now we'll try it. Well, we actually have to freaking use our function. So it's called cleanse water. What, I already forgot what it's freaking called. Insert cleansed water, and it takes in an X and a Y. Okay, yeah. Instead of doing that, we're not taking in arguments. We're just gonna insert them where we need them to go. And right now we're just saying put 1 at every Y position when X is 0. We're just inserting 8 of them. And we're going to do that every frame. Actually, we just need to say self:\cleanse, insert cleanse water, and run it. I've never done that. I don't think I've ever put render in a function and then use it here. Oh, well, shit, fuck. Let's just try it. We're going to hit N here. And we've got blue water on the left side. That's exactly what I wanted. So what's cool about this is we can now toggle the opacity based on a value that's increasing over time so that we can see it fade in. Yeah. Well, so Leaf, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely very manual in the way I'm approaching it. like it's very manual, but like the particle system, I didn't create the particle system or anything, but in terms of how the game's working and stuff, I really just Frankensteined it together. So it does kind of feel like that. Okay, so I want to test something here. You know, we want to put, we actually, before we render our cleanse water, we want to set it to white so we just get a nice, clean, bright color. And then we're going to run our cleanse water. Let's get us a line of water on the right side too. So for every Y, we're going to insert 1 on X being 0, and then 1 on X being tile size times, it's 10 wide, so times by 9 will give us the index for the rightmost one. Nice. Cool. This is great. Let's scoot over our player by 2. Just because that bugs me. Running down the draw path. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, if it helps, like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm illiterate in the CS stuff, but I'm definitely just like all self-taught. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, and Leaf, I did, you know, I used some tools to make it easier, like this tiled app. You know, I use this tiled app so that I can draw it as a tile sheet. And I'm drawing it based on the single tile sheet. So like I still am rendering it based on tiles, but I'm using this tool to draw it so that it's not so awful, you know? So there are ways to kind of make it a little easier. Okay, well, this is great. We have our water. Now the thing is, let's test if we can fade it in. We want it to fade in the blue over the purple so it looks like the water gets cleansed. So how we do that is we want to do a set color in here. Well, fuck. No, how would we do it? We would do a set color of white and then just change the alpha channel to raise from 0 to 255 over the course of 3 seconds or whatever. So let's do this where we're gonna say it is just a water alpha. Now, yeah, as we're in here, we're going to just slowly increment it. We're going to say that our water alpha just gets... If we were to just add delta time, then in 60 seconds, or in... it'll be 1 every second. So it would take 255 seconds to get all the way to opaque. It's called tiled with a D here. Tiled. Yeah, and it allows you to export .lua files with the data. So if you can draw your thing here, and then here in my graphics folder I've got a global map, and this is what exports from tiled. So it has the name of your tile sheet, it has the name of your sprite sheet, it has the name of your layer, and then it has all the tile IDs for what you drew. So this is all it's doing, is just putting the right tile IDs for the things you drew, and then my game is decoding these into rendering them where they need to go, which is kind of it's pretty nasty, but it works. It's really sweet. Like it's super useful to us. So like it handles multiple layers too. So we have like a ground level layer, then an above ground, and a top level. So it can handle multiple layers of exports and stuff, so it's super nice. I highly recommend it if you're doing Love2d development stuff. Super useful. Yeah, someone in the Discord dropped it to me, and I was like, actually, this is like, I don't know how I would live without this. So once I implemented that, it was like we were off to the races. Okay, so we don't want, you know, we want it to be over the course of like 3 seconds or so. So maybe, hey, I'm glad to hear that, Leaf. Yeah, always happy to help. Definitely with Love2d stuff, it's crazy to think I've got a couple years of experience in development with Love2d. Yeah, I think I'm pulling up on like 4 years. But definitely, you know, it's my first engine. I'm not a trained programmer or anything, so it's definitely been a weird time. A weird, slow time of progress, you know. I don't know how much I want to offset this by, but here we're going to do a love.graphics set color. And we're going to give a custom color here. It's going to be mainly white, right? So it's going to be 255. But then we're going to pull from our water alpha out of 255 here. And then since we're updating our water alpha to go up over time, we should see the blue fade in. I'm not seeing it fade in. Because the thing is, when we insert this cleanse water, we only do this once, right? Well, we run it in the render, so it's weird. We might have to... I don't know. We might have to use water alpha here in the render. Well, why wouldn't this work? Well, we're invoking it in the render, which is a little weird. We're not... yeah, because once we hit N, we should be in this state. But then I just think this is wrong, because I've never done this where let's see. I'm gonna put... I like to put... I'm just putting like 3 pixels worth of blue up there so I know that we're in this state. So the render function just isn't updating or it isn't using our updated water alpha value. Because technically we're invoking this function, you know, every single render, but I don't think that's how it's actually working. So let's do... Well, this is kind of weird. Let's move the water alpha update into the insert cleanse water. And then what we'll do is just actually run the cleanse water with delta time. And then we'll have to do something different for the... See, it's weird because the function itself has a draw in there, so we kind of have to like... I don't know the way to do this. Let's try... Let's see. Let's just see what happens, because we're inserting our cleanse water, and then we're also... See, but what's weird is in the update, there's render logic, and then in the render, we supposedly invoke it again here. That is just so weird. So I don't know what we would do. Okay, I got an idea. We'll take this out. You know, we'll make it like it used to be. But what we'll do is we'll use our water alpha outside of our render. So we'll set the color here. And we'll set it to be our water alpha here. Then we are going to draw our cleansed water. Yeah, we need to insert it like this. Okay, here we go. Son of a bitch. Oh, it's fading in. It's fading in. It is fading in, but we've got... Wow. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to take off this crap again. Okay, we want to do... Man, I hate that. Let's speed this up. So water alpha delta time times... If we times it by 60, then it will do a value of 1 every delta time. So it'll do 60 every second. Yeah. So... so timesing it by 60 would mean that it goes from 0 to 255 in about 5 seconds-ish. So if we want it faster than 5 seconds, we need to be higher than 60. Let's just put 80 and see what it looks like. So let's see. We're trying to get the blue cleansed water to fade in here. Oh my god, it looks perfect. That looked awesome. Beautiful. Look at that. Ooh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. Yes. This is so nice. So now that... So the secret, it's going to be, it's a little like smoke and mirrors, because we're basically just hard coding in this special animation. But then we're going to go under the hood and modify our global map.lua to have the starting point of the cleansed water instead of the purple. And then when you walk around, everything will now be blue water instead of purple. So we kind of just do this animation to signify, hey, you cleanse the water here. So it's looking good. But also, I don't know. I'm trying to think, because yeah, I think the water's important, because the corrupted water is what's preventing you from exploring the other biomes here at the beginning of the demo. So I do think that we do need to cleanse kind of all the water. Because I was thinking, I'm like a little nervous about... It kind of feels end-gamey to decorruptify all the water in the game from the first intro biome, but on the same hand, it's what allows you to explore the other biomes. So it's kind of like, hey, let's get this one thing done, but then let's cure the corruption that's more on the island. I don't know. I think it's okay. So let's change this so at least the purple is going on, or the blue is going on all the purple tiles, just so that it looks good. But we're going to draw a mage castle above us here. And then the idea is we write that function that will, render them everywhere instead of just here, because we're faking it here. And you can see that when we walk around, it just carries over the new updated ones. It's not actually modifying. Yeah, it's not scrolling and it's not modifying. So we do need to kind of... Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky, because we need to do a switch. We need to do a switch from a global map frame being pulled from... Oh, shit. Yeah, it's a little tricky when I think about. It's not just that we need to go through our global map, write a little script that changes the tile ID from a purple to a blue starter, because that's in what we call the map declarations, and that only gets ran once when we do our main.lua run. It doesn't update over time. So we have all of these values, we have all these tile IDs in every scene of the map that are now out of sync with our global map.lua tile IDs. So we'd have to not only write, if we write the script and it just changes a global.lua, that will change it if a player reloads the game with a saved global map.lua. It should pull in the new tiles. But what we need to happen is overwrite all the current tile IDs with the ones that had the old value and put in the new value, which is a little weird. But I don't think it'll be that tough because we already have the code for it. We're doing it once in the map declarations. We just have to do it among a finishing cinematic. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be that tough. The fade looks so sweet. I really love the fade. Oh, it looks really cool. That's exactly what I want. So let's get... Oh my gosh, yeah, it's tough. Freaking tough, dude. I feel so much resistance because I know it's gonna suck. Let's just do it one step at a time. We'll try to get the... let's do this starting Y at 2, but then we're going to cycle through the X's. We're going to cycle through the X's, start at 1, and we're going to omit, we go all the way to 10, but we're going to omit the 9th? 8th? It's 3 from 10, so, oh god. If it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th. So we cycle through 10. We say, well, if x does not equal 8, we're just going to go ahead and insert another x on that top row there. This is just the code to get us all the blue tiles where water currently is. So, oopsie. Yeah, y is local, so all the y's. Yeah, we need this at a x minus 1 times tile size. And then a y, it's all the same at 0. Freaking butt hurts, man. I sit like shit when I program. I need to get one of those like saddle chairs or something. Okay. Why do we do this twice? We just need one. Let's see. All right, we're going to fade in the corrupted waters. Oh, yes. Fuck yeah, that looks sick, man. Looks freaking sick. I want to see it again. Oh, it looks so sweet. I love it. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that looks so good. I love it. I love it. That's epic, man. So now we just need to... See, and this is really strange. You know, like... if we treat it like this, where once the water's cleansed, then we're going to overwrite the global map to have the correct value so that our normal inserts work. I don't know if I like that. I mean, at least for development, it'll get thrown off. It'll get thrown off because as we develop, you know, the state of the global map being dependent on what part of the game you've completed or not is kind of weird to me. I think we should have these little flags that we check upon load and say, well, if Tome 1 completed, then let's cycle through our already populated maps and give them the updated one, just so we're not modifying the global map differently through multiple times during the game, because I think it just makes for a complicated dev world. You know, I don't want to have multiple states of a global map.lua, so I don't think we want to write a function to change our global map.lua. I think we just want to have these little flags that modify a global map. And we just run the little flags when we're initializing. So like the result will be the same. We change the tile IDs to be the correct cleansed water tile IDs instead of the corrupted waters. But it doesn't actually save in the global.map. We're gonna have a little flag to hopefully fix that. So I think that's the move. So what are the odds we can get that done today? I think we should go for it. It's 12:30 already. Oh my god. I think we can do it. The fade looks great. I love it. Okay, so I think it's going to be super easy, man. I think it's going to be super easy, if I'm being honest. You know, we just need this, like, let's take a look at our declarations. And in our declarations, when we're inserting it, if it is a corrupted water starter or whatever, corrupted, what do we do it? We just have it water. Yeah, we should probably rename it to corrupted water. The animatables, oh shoot, we have to also update the animatables. Oh shit. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Yeah, it's gotta be somewhere else. I'm looking for when we... I guess it is right here. Because the thing is, you know, we're cycling... So in order for us to update to a new animatable in this table... See, this is weird. Because if we have any more than one animatable, it becomes hard to remove another one and add in a new one. But basically, this 3D array here is the tile ID of a current scene. So if we wanted this trigger set, we can cycle through our overworld map height, width, cycle through our columns and rows, and we're basically saying, this is nuts, because this is going through the entire 200 scene global map. So it's kind of nuts. So maybe, yeah, I think we literally just flush our animatable table on all of our scenes and then repopulate with new values that says, see, and how are we doing this? We're saying if the tile ID is equal to a water, instead of inserting a water animatable, we'd insert a cleansed water animatable, and then boom, it's updated. So I say that we flush it, it's weird. It's weird to say that let's just remove everything so that we can update only the water. But we don't have any signifying difference between a water starter or... I guess what we could do... Yeah, because this is on a per tile basis. So what we can do is say, if the animatables that's already in here, we cycle through every map and we say, if the animatable that's in this current scene has a dot since, but it's what's in there is just a function, and we can't dig down into it and pull out a field because it's a function, not an object. So I think we do have to kind of clear it and then repopulate it. As far as I know, there's no way we can dig down into a function table. Let's try to do it. Let's try to see. So our map at our starting point .animatables should be a function. And if we try to print it, we should get an address of that function. So if we go to our spawning, and we can see that we're spawning at a 9.2. So let's print up the 9.2 animatables table and see what's in that table. Yeah, we can't, if we tried to convert whatever this is into a string and print it up, let's see. I think it's just going to be an address. Attempt to index a nil value at 91 right here. So, oh yeah, IJ. It is going to be, what did I say it was, 9.2? It's just going to be a table, an address. Yeah. We need to... Can't really see much, but let's just say... I'm going to darken our screen a bit so we can see this a little easier. just a table. So look, our table's a function. So if we try to do anything like say, oh, well, what's the first index of our animatables? It's still going to be an address because what's in there is a function. Yeah. So let's try to, if we were to not print to string, but inspect it, let's see what's in the animatables table with an inspect. It's a function like we thought. So let's see it probably is just like a whole bunch of functions, right? Because it's all the insert anims. So it knows there's a function. It's one function in here. So like, can we do, if we look at the function itself, it is insert anim. That is the function that's in there. And that function has a parameter passed into it. I don't know if we can access it. So let's see if we can get the .row or even, shit, man, yeah. All right, let's see if we can access any of the parameters. I don't think we can, though. I do not think we can. Yeah. We can't access it. So unless there's a way I don't know, we can't really dig down. So I think we need to flush all of our animatables and reset based on a flag. So let's do this where we're gonna do this. We're gonna add like a util function. So let's declare this. I don't even know. We have like a utility. I don't think I've ever written a global function. So maybe for now we just test it in our scene, because we're going to modify some global variables, so it should still work. So let's just try to do it here in our success state. So let's just write a function called update cleansed to cleansed water. Or let's just say cleanse the water. Okay. So if the tile ID in our current scene or any scene in our entire game is equal to the water anim starter, which is the corrupted purple water, we're going to insert not a water frame, but a cleansed water dot frame. And when we invoke this function, we're going to say, yeah, we need to see, like, this is just inserting into the maps here. So it's kind of like we need to cleanse them first. We need to delete all of the animatables in the table first, so that we have a clean boat to insert. So we do have to do, yeah, I think we have to do a double loop like this, because we can't do it in the loop, because then it'll cleanse it after we insert a new function, and we don't want that. So let's just say that we're going to go into our global map at ij. It's just the scene here. And we're going to go into our .animatables table and just wipe it. Then we're going to cycle through everything and reinsert not a water animatable, but a cleansed water from our anim spitter, cleansed water. So our global map remains unchanged, but our map's tile IDs should be equal to an animatable of a cleansed water, which should update over time and give us the animation. So now we just need to trigger this function to run, and we can test it. Like we can say that right when, you know, we have this insert cleanse water, we have this cleanse the water. Let's call this cleanse the global water. And we'll just try to do this right on the update of the, or right on the, yeah, right on the, you know, we don't want to do it over and over. We don't want to do it over frames. So we'll add a water cleansed gets false. And then in our update, we'll say, well, if our water cleansed is false, then let's go ahead and run this function and then set it to true. Okay, and then our function is a method on the class called cleanse the global water, and then will become cleansed. So it should only run once, and it should change all the tile IDs of any old purple to be updated to a blue. If this works, oh my god. Okay. I mean, it's clear to me why this is happening. But we don't actually set, see how the water's still purple here. So why is that happening? Because it's pulling from we're only rendering our global map. We're not rendering any animatables to transition. So we're very close. It's very close. Yeah, we need to render our animatables on a scene transition. I think the issue... Yo, thanks for hanging, Loki. Have a good sleep. Thanks for hanging. I think we did this because when we transition into a scene, we wanted a smooth animation. And a smooth animation would mean that our frame starts at 1. Starts at the first frame and then goes up. So I think by us I don't think this is going to be that hard. I think we just need to render our animatables during a scene transition. Even though they're not updating, we still need to render them. So we need to find where our animatables, I mean, I guess it'd have to be in our scene that it's not working, right? So our scene view, when we go to render our scene, let's take a look at where our animatables are being rendered. Well, see, and it's not that we're actually rendering them, it's that we're changing the tile ID of the underlying current map. So what really needs to happen is we need to also change the underlying ID of a next map to be the correct animatable ID. Because our global map is not changing, and when we scene transition, it pulls the tile ID from the global map. Then when it hits the update, it says, oh, there's an animatable there, by the way, and then we go and pull it. So we need a way to tell, shoot, man, because yeah, our animatable, when we run the function, is giving us the tile ID we need. So I guess upon a begin scene transition, we just need to go into the next map, .animatables, and run the function once, just to give us the new tile ID insertion. And that might fix this issue. Okay, so do we do anything with the animatables here? I don't think so. So what we need to do is, once we have the next map, right, we initialize the next map upon the event dispatch. So we need to basically say, let us cycle through our animatables or our next map. So we'll say we'll cycle through the next map animatables table and do something. And the something we want to do is just say we're going to go into our next map animatables at index I and just invoke the function that's in there. So we actually assign all the tile IDs to be equal to the updated animatable value, because our .animatables now has the new function once we initialize it. So we should have 92 next map .animatables. What did it lie to us? What did it say? Name expected near. Yeah, we don't want to do this. We need to go to the animatables of what the next map row is or whatever. So a next map is a map instantiation with a dot, what is it? A dot row. It's a dot row and column, yeah. So we should be able to do this by saying where are we? Yeah, we need to go into the next map dot row and column. So we'll cycle through the number of global map at, yeah, next map row, next map column, dot animatables, and then we do it here. Let's do this as a table loop. Yeah. Then we can say v, the value, which is the function we want to actually just invoke right there. Still no. Fuck. Okay, yeah, it just doesn't like this. Now we know the animatable's in there because we're changing the water once it loads, once it's in the play state. So we know it's inserting in there. But what we don't have, yeah, we should have the next map too. We should have it. How would we invoke this function that's in here? Name expected. It is, what's in there is a function. So it's not that, oh, we need to go into the index at k in order to actually get the value, no? V, the value, the function, fuck. Let's try this the other way. Yeah, we'll say 1. Yeah, we'll try to do it like this. Let's see. Same freaking error. How are we doing it? That's what we're doing, man. This is exactly what we're trying to do. So if we just update the insert animation, we should have the same effect. But this is exactly what we're trying to do. Look at, we even, oh, we don't need the colon. We don't need the colon. Yeah, we don't need the colon. Yo, if this works. Let's go. Shit. Fuck. Begin shifting. Didn't do it. It didn't do it. Did we turn off? Cause we should. Didn't we run our cleanse water? So why is it purple still? Well, let's try this. We press N. We change to a success state. Okay. Now instead of doing our where are we fucking doing it? Insert cleanse water. Where are we doing that? Insert cleanse water. Right here. Let's not do that. Let's just try this. Okay, it does work. And it doesn't pull it for the next scene. So it does insert cleanse water. It's just that, why does that happen? We're pulling it for the old map, it looks like. This is close. If our map wasn't... Yeah, it is. Because look, it's pulling the bridge from the next scene. So we should have... We're already changed to the wrong map. So here in our begin shifting, we should have the ability to say that this is on the current map. Right? No. Shit. It's pulling it wrong. It's so close though. Let's just see. Let's just see, because it looks like it's pulling it wrong. No. Oh, you know what it is? It's the adjacent offset. Because it pulls in, oh god, once we change it. See, look, it pulls the right tiles. It just doesn't render them at the right spot. So we just need to adjust where we're rendering. We're really close. We're really close. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Okay, we're really, really close. We're trying to get these new blue tiles to be rendered in the right spot before we transition. Now this is actually... yeah, okay. Because look, we're pulling all the tiles that should be where the purple go, but we're not rendering them in the right location. So I think we'll see... yeah, same thing here. See, yeah, we have that whole line of... oh, shoot, man. Okay. So what's weird to me is that we're not rendering the animatables based on an adjacent offset from the map. But we're not technically rendering any animatables. We're just changing the tile ID. So why are they wrong? We should be changing the tile ID of the next map. Fuck. Let's see, because when we begin shifting, we say... see, we pull the adjacent offset. We invoke the animatable function, which then changes the tile ID of the ground level tile to be updated, which it is pulling, but it's doing it to... it's changing the tile ID of the current map, not the next map. Even though we give it the index of the next map here, what is happening here? Because it's pulling the right animatables, you know. So this part of the loop is right. We're pulling the right animatables, but when we invoke the function, it's updating. Let's see, because it's called an insert anim. See, it's the current map, not the next map. Let's see if we change it to the next map. It's nil. Okay, it's almost like we need an option, right? So it's row, column, anim, and then let's say next map. So we can say if not next map, or if next map is equal to nil, we want to insert like normal. But if next map is not nil, we want to insert into the next map, not the current map. So if we change this to our insert animation, now the thing is, this is, yeah, because this is the new map we did in the cleanse global water, is an insert anim insertion, right? Cleanse global water, we insert no, it's an insert anim function. Well, shit, how do we even insert it? Is that global? Oh, it is global. We didn't do an insert anim method on here, so it's literally just global. Right? Maybe. We're able to use it, it works. So let's do this next map. If we give this next map any value, then it should insert into the next map tiles. But it needs to do both, actually. Because yeah, it needs to do both because we need... Fuck, dude. Oh, shit. I do not know. Because the issue is we're only ever inserting an animation into our current map. So we would need to do it, all we would need to do is just to insert the anim before we transition. Yeah, before we transition scenes, we need to just invoke the insert anim method. So instead of doing it on a begin shifting, we need to run it once before, so we just get the correct tile ID for any animatable. So here, instead of running it here, we need to cycle through. We can add this to our freaking global cleanse global water function. So we're going to insert all the animations functions, and then we're going to also just run it. So before we are done looping through, as we are done looping through each K, we want to just say, go into the IJ and just execute whatever you just inserted. So we're going to like insert it and invoke it kind of in the same swoop once we have it. Yes. If it's not nil, right? Because if, yeah, this shouldn't be nil. It should be empty. Don't know. Let's see. Yep, nil. Yep, I thought so. So if it does not equal nil, if the animatables, if there is a function in there, and we'll do this. Okay, if this works, I'll be very happy. Oh, it pulled some random shit, and this is still busted. Oh no. Because the issue is it's still pulling from the global map. It's still pulling from the global map. Why would it be? No, it wouldn't be pulling from the global map. Fuck. That was really jacked up. Very jacked up. You know what? Yeah, I think what we need to do is just make sure that if it's a water anim starter, then we actually need to reassign it. And it'll be reassigned into a cleansed water starter. Yeah. That should fix it. Because we were still... Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Yes. Okay, so here's the beauty. Here's the beauty. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So the beautiful thing is, if we run this, cleanse the global water, which we can easily do a little check. We can have a global check. This is entry level water cleansed or whatever. If it's cleansed, then we need to make sure this runs, and this running will actually clean our anim by overriding the global. So what we need to do is execute this cleanse the water global after the opacity is full at 255. Then we need to stop rendering the opacity. So we only want to insert cleanse water if the water cleanse is false. So if our water is not cleansed, we're going to go ahead, insert the cleanse water. That's what's going to trigger it to go higher and higher, baby. Then if water alpha becomes if water alpha becomes 255, and actually we want to do this where our water alpha, when we go to increase it, we want to say that this is a meth.min. So we don't go past 255, right? And then if our water alpha is 255, well, now we are water cleansed. And water cleansed would mean we want to cleanse our global water. So we say method cleanse global water. That should override it, and then we only insert those cleansed water animatables if the water is not cleansed. I think that's it. Oh, look here. We need to turn this off. If this is saying if water cleansed is false, we're going to cleanse it. Yeah, that's because we press it. Okay. Okay. This should be it. Let's see. We've got purple corrupted water. We play our lute song. We get it right. Now the water will be cleansed. It fades in. Oh, beautiful. And then once it's... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, we need to do this. We need to insert cleanse water. That gives us the updated frame. So we need this. But we need to stop rendering it. Oh, man. Shoot. This is not so great. When we insert cleanse water, we're drawing a tile sheet here at a hard location. So if we're not shifting, if we're not transitioning, we need to go ahead and do this. But the instant we begin to transition, we need to turn this off. Or what we do is once we do this, we would also then just change back to the play state. That might work too. I don't like that it doesn't change the current frame. But they fade in, that looks great. Oh my god, it worked. It fucking worked. Oh my god, it worked. We're back in the play state and we have the correct global water. Everything's cleansed now. Okay, so one last fix. We need to make sure that when we change the frame here, we only change to the frame that matches. How would we even do that, man? Because look, if we're on the third frame or whatever, it's gonna start back at frame 1. So we kind of need to do some initial frame update. I don't fucking know, because we don't know what frame you're gonna initialize this on. And what we're doing is, whenever we're inserting cleansed water, it should be the same. Actually, it should be the same, because the animatables are updating at the same rate. So anytime we change, they should be at the same frame, unless, well, we do initialize the frame upon insert cleanse water. Oh my gosh, what are we doing, man? See, we insert it at the current frame, which should be the same regardless of, we should be. Now the current frame, it's not like frame 1, frame 2, it's like frame 240 because the tile ID of 240. So it's not like, if what we're doing is saying we start cleanse water and water at the same frame, update them at the same time, then when we go to insert it, we take it from the global frame. Yeah, I don't see why it would be disjointed. I don't see why it would be disjointed. Yeah, it bugs me that it's not perfect. And it looks like it messes up on the switchback too. I don't know, it's not bad though. I don't know, it looks different. We're missing a frame. We are missing a frame, I think. Let's try to give this, I think we miss, did we miss this? 240 to 241 to 243, okay. It looks like 4 frames, because look, anim starter, oh, we don't have an ender. So where do we do this? 102, water anim starter. So we start at 102. And we go to 105, so that's 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. Yeah, that's 4. This should be right. We start at 40, so 40 to 1 to 2 to 3. There's 4. So anytime we update water, oh, we do update water here. Cleanse water update. We do this. When we start a scene transition, we update water. That is so weird. I don't think we need that. It's close, man. It's so close. But yeah, look at that. We're getting these squiggles that don't exist on this one, right? If we just watch corrupted water, oh, we do get it. Oh, we do get it. Huh. Ah, I don't like that. It switches. I don't like that. Now the thing is, we aren't... Are we updating? Yo, how are we updating the global, huh. What the fuck? Are we updating the animatables? How are the globals actually getting updated right now? Yeah, I don't see where... Oh, right here. We're updating it here. See, I think this is weird. I don't think we want to do this on the self. Oh, it does reset. Yeah, this does reset it. Yeah, we want to take the global updatables. Okay, so I think what I do want to do, we still need this blank. And fuck. I think what actually, we don't want to worry about updating the animatables here. We just really don't. We really don't care. The animatables should just be updated. So when we go here, we can't insert into the dot animatables. Okay, this is all okay. Whoa, that was trippy. Okay, so yeah, it's still good. So we just need the animatables to update in the success state here. So I think instead of doing this where we say we do all this update, yeah, instead of all this here, I think we just want to do this in main. I mean, it's a little weird, but to update it in main, but also we need it, so if game broken, fix game. Update our animatables. Alright, we got animatables. Oh my god. Oh, it's checked. Oh, it's checked. It's even worse. It's even worse. It's just so out of sync. I didn't think that'd be the issue. Shit. Yeah, I mean, we need to make sure we force the player to make it the animation complete fully, because it doesn't delete those old ones until you've finished animation. So it's close. It's close. The only thing I don't like is that when we reinitialize a dot animatables, it flushes. It restarts from the frame 1 of the animatable. So I guess we could. And the timing is weird too, because fuck. Because this is. Well, and you know what? This is just in the init. Oh man. But yeah, okay. Because yeah, we're updating the animatables here. I think we just need to see if we can get rid of this and pull it from somewhere else, but the place we want to pull it from is in the play state, right? Yeah, play state self animatables. So yeah, we want to do this from the play state, but we want to do this, but not from the self animatables, but from the state machine. I don't know how to do that. Self dot global state machine or global state machine dot. We're gonna have to dig down. Let's see if we can dig down into the right name. So we might need console debug on here in main. It's in conf. Okay, what we'll do is we'll turn this console on. We'll go to our tone success state and we'll print up. Actually, we'll just print. And what we're printing is the global state machine. Dot. I mean, we just need to get. We need to get access to a state machine that we're not in, and I don't know how to do that. So let's do an inspect here. Inspect our global state machine, print it to the console. And let's do this here at the end of main, I guess. Let's do it in play state. Unexpected symbol. See, this is why I hate the freaking debugger. It breaks everything here. Unexpected symbol. You can't print? $27. Let's see. We're looking for the state machine info, right? So we just printed this up. So it has a bunch of different states. So what else is in there? God damn it, that's so shitty, man. Why does it get so screwed up? Let's see if we run it not full screen here. Oh my god, it's so jacked up, dude. I hate this. Well, we have a states table that we should be able to pull from. So if that's true, then in our play state, we should be able to say states. Let's just inspect that and see if that gives valid. Yeah, so we've got states for our tome success state for our current state. But why is it just pulling our... Oh, it's pulling our other states. Play state, play state. Okay, so let's go at an index play state. Oh, this is jacked up, dude. Okay, so if this is our states table, then the index we want to dive into is the play state. Okay, well, it looks like it's pulling something. It just says function. So that, I don't think that's right. Maybe it's a table, so maybe it's a dot accessed by the dot. So let's say dot play state. No. Let's look at it again. Our dot states. Oh, we messed up. Bro, this kills me. So our dot states is a table of, oh, it really does just say function. So maybe like we're trying to change the play states dot animatables, right? So let's try to go, if this is a table, then we want to go index the play state and then at the field animatable, and then if that works, we're in business. So let's try index play state and then field animatables. And then animatables is a function. So if we say the function 1, God, it would still just be a fucking function. It'll just say function or a crash. Can't index field play state. But is it field? Can't index field. What the hell? It's a function value. We can't do this. There's, as far as I know, there's no way to modify values one play state to another. We're very close, and we almost got everything we wanted working for this. I've got better debugging on my Mac for this, so I think I'm going to continue digging around because I think there's a way to do this. So I will commit with that as a test. Yes, we'll leave. I don't want to leave it on. I hate the console log. It just screws up everything on WSL. So we'll leave it off. But the great news is we're here. If we're on the right frame, we start the transition, we cleanse the water. Once it's cleansed, it then overrides all of the tile IDs for the other water, and we become cleansed over there too. So that is a majority of the issue. The last thing is we just want to make sure that smooth transition, so that when we update the animatables, it's on the same frame as the other thing. So that is good. Let's add a message saying cleansed water function in tome 1 success state. Well, that's huge. That's really good. So we did good. We're like one thing away from finishing that feature, so I'm happy with that. I'll call it a night. Let's see who I can raid. Anybody? Well, anyways, hey, thanks for watching, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow.